Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of Parks and Tech. Today we're going to be taking a look at something a little bit different, something that I have not reviewed or looked at here on the channel before. We're going to be taking a look at this Campark T45 Trail Camera. So you might be thinking to yourself, Josh, you a hunter? Like, why would you need a trail camera? Well, to be perfectly honest with you, no, I'm not a hunter. I have nothing against hunting for those of you that are hunters. I am not a hunter, but what this could be used for as well is just overall surveillance of your property. It does have motion sensing where it will start recording the video or take pictures or whatever you tell it to do. It is waterproof outside. It can handle some extreme low temperatures and some extreme high temperatures as well. Who knows, maybe you just want to capture some wildlife or see what's roaming around out there when you're asleep at night or whatever the case is. But it does have night vision as well. So let's go ahead and dive in here and just take a look at the packaging. So again, this is the Campark T45 wide angle lens, waterproof IP56. It does support up to a 32 gig micro SD card. Triggering time is 0.3 to 0.5 seconds once motion has been detected. It is a 14 megapixel CMOS sensor, so that's pretty neat. Again, we got our triggering time. It's got 8 months of standby time, which is great. Operation temperature, negative 20 degrees Celsius to roughly 60 degrees Celsius in terms of its operating temperature. I'll put on the screen what that is in Fahrenheit for those of you that are like me. On the back, let's just take a quick look. What does it say here? 14 megapixels, 8 megapixels, or 5 megapixels, still image resolution. 1080p, 720p, 480p HD video recording, 2.4 inch LCD display inside, 20 meters range of IR LED, so that's your infrared, of course, for nighttime, which is great. 75 feet or 22 meters triggering distance. It says below 75 degrees Fahrenheit or 25 degrees Celsius. That's kind of an interesting spec there. 120 degree PIR sensor, again 0.3 to 0.5 seconds trigger speed, up to 8 months standby time with full battery, and of course IP56 waterproof level. So that's the box. Let's go ahead and slide off that top cover. Set that off to the side. We're greeted with this brown box. Well, before you start guide, please insert a memory card. Please tear off all protective films on IR LED lens and PIR sensors. Remove obstructions in the lens view range in case of overexposure when IR LED flashes. To maximize the capture result, when battery power runs low, the camera will only take photos or record black videos in photo and video mode. I'm assuming they mean black and white photos. If it recorded just black videos, we wouldn't be able to see anything. I'm sure they mean black and white. The video recording function and IR LED consume a lot of power. It says lot of power, but I think they mean, again, a lot of power. It will significantly affect battery life. And in the back, it looks like we have it all in German. So set that card aside. First things first, we're greeted with the actual trail camera itself. It's in this nice little bag. For those of you that like that crinkling noise. I don't actually mind that. Kind of nice. Anyhow, here is the actual trail camera itself. It's really not that big in terms of size. Maybe what, I don't know, 4.5, 5 inches, something like that. Really not that big. But we take a look at the outside. We have our infrared LEDs up here at the top. We have our 14 megapixel CMOS camera here. We have our motion sensors down here at the bottom, all facing in a couple different directions to try to help get you motion in all directions. That is the front. Side, we have our little clips here to hold everything closed. It does have a little notch here where you can insert like a lock or something like that if you want to keep it locked, if you're going to keep this somewhere further off your property so that nobody opens it up and tries to take something. On the bottom, we do have a 1/4 20 screw on the bottom. Fit your tripod if that's what you'd like to do. On the back here we have our holder, so you can actually strap this bad boy to a tree or to whatever you want to strap it to. Just your hinges on the other side, and we already took a look at the bottom. So there is a lot of protective plastic on all of these sensors, the camera lens, and even the tracking sensors as well. These clips just clip off like so, and there we are. So we have our menu here with buttons. We have our LED screen as well here, which is actually pretty big. I'm quite impressed with how big that screen actually is. We'll go on ahead and get into all of these features as well in here. On the bottom, you have your place for your micro SD card, your audio video cable if that's what you want. You have your micro USB cable, and your on switch, your setup switch, or your off, depending on what you're doing. So first time use or just wanting to set it up in general, and you want to keep it here in the center, which is for your setup. That is on, setup, and off. And over here, right underneath this cover is where our batteries go. It does say here, please use 4 or 8 pieces of AA alkaline batteries to power the camera. Do not use 1.2 volt rechargeable batteries. Do not reverse the battery electrode. Replace the batteries when the camera indicates low power. So it's kind of interesting that it says 4 or 8 pieces, so I wonder if it functions with just 4 as well. Of course, your battery life probably wouldn't be as great. One thing I did notice, and I don't know if this is just my particular unit or not, but this little clip to hold this down is actually kind of difficult to get off. However, once I got a pair of scissors, I was able to just do this, lift, and it pops right up. So who knows, maybe you are supposed to use a tool to remove this or something, but that was extremely simple. But I couldn't just get it with just my finger, maybe because I got fat stubby fingers, who knows, but I could not get this cover off. Anyhow, so just be prepared for that. So if you get one of these and you're having trouble getting this cover off, get a pair of scissors or something. Don't waste your time like I did fumbling around with that. So anyhow, this is where our AA batteries go. We'll get some in there for testing. I just wanted to be able to show you that. This then just goes back on. It doesn't click or anything, but it is locked in. So whatever, but it doesn't click. So okay, so that is our look at the camera itself. Let's just quickly go on ahead and see what else we have in the packaging. So remove this, get a little surprise card. You get a little metal. What is metal? Nice. For mounting, a metal plate for mounting. Here is your instruction book. Got multiple languages: French, Japanese, Spanish, Italian. Just got them all. And also, we have, this looks like some more mounting brackets. And yep, mounting brackets for the actual plate itself, along with screws. And all that fun stuff. We also, of course, have our micro USB cable. Everybody has a ton of those. And here is our strap that I told you about that goes back through here that can wrap around, a tree or a fence or whatever it is you are attaching your camera to. So there's a couple different ways to mount it. I personally will probably just be mounting it this way, just with the strap itself. I probably won't be mounting it with this this metal plate. Ooh, be careful. That's kind of sharp right there. You're not expecting that. It's kind of interesting. So now let's go ahead and get the CamPark T45 Trail Camera all set up here and get it ready to rock and roll. So I'm going to go ahead and first start by trying to peel off all of this protective plastic here. And get your nail down in there, which is pretty difficult. There we go. Let's get the one off of the lens. There we go. And then each one of the sensors has that as well. Okay. So I've got all of that off. Let's open up the camera. You can see I got my batteries over here ready to go. And now this is the one, T45, requires a little tool here. Seems to can't just do it with your nail apparently. So let's go ahead and insert our batteries. These are just Amazon basic batteries, but they've worked pretty darn well in a lot of things. So I have no complaints, at least not with these batteries. Okay, so we got all of our batteries in there. Let's put the cover back over those. And again, remember there's no click. So let's get our micro SD card out of here. This is just a Samsung 32 gig. So let's go ahead and put that in. Okay, so we're good there. Those batteries definitely make this a little bit heavier. So let's go on to setup. Okay, that's great. You can see what the camera sees. Currently, it is in looks like 720p mode. I'm going to change that. Actually, I just noticed there in the modes, I want photo and video. I'm going to select that. Photo resolution, I'm going to make it on high at 14 megapixels. Photo series, 1 photo, 2 photos, I'm going to go 3 photos. Video resolution, I'm going to go up to 1080p. Video length, 5 seconds. Let's go to 10 seconds. Audio recording is on. Shot lag, side motion sensor, sensitivity motion sensors, target recording time, time lapse, language, time, and date. Let's set the date and time. Here we go. So February 23rd at 4:40. Click OK. Okay, we're good there. Menu to go back. Photo stamp, time and date. I'd like to leave that on. Beep sound, format. Let's format the memory card just to make sure before we get this baby powered up. And serial number and reset settings, version, okay. Looks like we're good. So I'm going to just go ahead and turn that off until we get outside. So let's make sure we have everything all closed up here. And we'll see outside. Let's get this baby set up out there. Okay guys, so we are now outside and I'm going to actually be mounting this trail camera actually facing right back here in the woods. So basically on the other side of the fence here. So let's go ahead and get that all locked into place here. Now again, you guys can mount these to trees or whatever it is you decide that you want to mount them to. So let's get this little clasp in through here. You can hear the dogs running around like crazy back there. And let's make sure we pull this nice and tight. I can take a little maneuvering here, because normally these are being wrapped around trees, but the trees have been cut down out here. So I have to kind of maneuver this a little bit. Okay, make sure it's nice and tight, and clip that on there. And hope that that's on there. And what I also, well, maybe I won't, because that will end up blocking some sensors. Seems to be on there pretty good. So now what we'll do is we'll go on the other side and get that going. Jacks. Alright, so it appears to be on there pretty decent. So let's open this back up. And let's switch it to on. And looks like it's already starting. So there we have it. So we'll let this sit out here overnight and throughout the day and see what we got. All right, folks. Well, I actually ended up leaving these out here a little bit longer than I had expected. It is exactly 1 week ago I put these out here, and we're going to go ahead and retrieve the SD cards. Who knows if we actually even got anything or not. Now they might be capturing something. Everything still looks good. We've had all sorts of weather here this week. Sorry, I'm trying to do this with one hand. That one is on. Switch it off. And that one didn't seem to show that it was turned off. But anyhow, let's see what we're most after here. That is the SD card data. It was a little bit of a task. Okay, now they're both off. I'll worry about getting those later. So let's go ahead and see what's on these cards.